You know things, I know some too. Sit right down, the femsplain 'em to you. If there's a thing you wanna explain, these two feminists can entertain. Nerdy stuff, sexy stuff, so much to know. Tune in for the Femsplain Show.
Femsplain!
What's that logo behind you?
That's my logo.
That's fucking cool. Where's it from?
Nito Burrito. Marty gave it to me today as a birthday present.
That's a really good present.
It's really good. It is backwards
Yeah.
in real life so that it's automatically straight forward in your camera on stream and on Zoom calls and stuff.
Oh, well, right now it's backwards.
It shouldn't be. You're that's a you problem. You fix that, Avla.
Yeah, maybe Facebook doesn't mirror.
It's mirrored in my view. And why would it preview it to me mirrored? I hate that. I'm mad about it. Ugh, whatever.
I'm mad about everything.
You want to talk about it? We have an
Yeah.
hour podcast to fill. You could tell me why you're mad.
You know, I'm not mad about anything real. I'm just like in a petty mood.
Great. I'm so happy.
Do you know that I feel like I live with a fucking Batman villain whose origin story is that Wires killed his parents? And so he both hates and loves Wires.
I was this close to thinking that you were talking about Robin when you were like, I'm this close.
No.
And then you said Wires, and I was like, oh, it's Francis, of
Yeah. It's like I live with the Riddler who leaves mysterious wire pockets all around in ways that I need to solve.
I cannot believe that he doubted my Christmas gift of the wire organizer.
That was the best Christmas gift.
He was like,
To the point
I
where,
don't
like,
think I have
I-
enough wires for this, Diana.
Diana, we have 3 wires drawers across 2 rooms. And if there's a system, God help me, I don't know what it is. But it feels like the machinations of a lunatic.
I just want the listeners to know that Avalon is actively tearing slowly her eye skin down her face as she copes with whatever wire-based terrors have been inflicted upon them.
There's nothing like going through 2 wires drawers over and over again and doubting yourself. And finally texting your partner to say, where's the wire? And you know what he's going to say. And he says, the wire drawer. And you say, which one? And it's the 3rd one, the one you forgot about.
I don't know that experience, but I might if I didn't live in a studio apartment with exactly 4 drawers.
God, I wish.
If I did, I feel like it could easily become that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, here I am, all wired up.
Well, good. And what are you wired up for? What?
I don't know, Diana. What am I wired up for?
You're wired
For
up.
my own amusement.
Yeah, you're wired up for my own amusement because we're recording an episode of our podcast called Femsplained.
That's true. And who said something good about our podcast? You did. What did you say? What did you tell our podcast was?
I told Redacted that our podcast was a fun place for femme nerds to talk about nerd stuff they like without being quizzed or interrupted.
Perfect.
And
Should have been
that's
saying
all
that
it
the whole
is.
time. Yep.
Yep. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Well, this femme nerd can't wait to interrupt you right now and demand that you tell me what nerd culture has done
Nice.
to you.
Nice.
I only want to to you.
That's done to me?
Yeah.
What has it done to me? I don't know.
You can do the other one.
I can do the other one.
You can do for you.
For you. Okay. Well, I'm about to start playing Mushrooms starting tomorrow. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
Mushroom dance. So I'm doing that. I am I think what I'm doing for nerd culture is that I'm having a birthday on Thursday, and I am declaring that a thing for nerds. So there's that. And Space Game on Wednesdays is going great. We're all about to meet each other in real life, which I'm really excited about. That sounded wrong. We're not meeting each other in real life. I wish we were meeting in real life. Our characters are meeting up
in not real life.
In not real life when they've been separate this entire time.
So Tuesdays is Space.
Tuesdays is Mushroom. Wednesdays is Space.
Got it.
And yeah, so lots and lots of gaming happening. And then I feel like did we, Avalon, stop me if I'm wrong about this, but did we ever actually talk about the Brennan Lee Mulligan thing on this podcast?
No.
Because I think we didn't. I think we were always saying it was something we couldn't say.
Yeah.
And then it got released and we never said
And I think it was released during not a hiatus, but like a pause. A gap.
Yeah. So I do really want to mention it because it was just such a pleasant experience. Like I got to talk to Brennan Lee Mulligan for about an hour about, it was like quote unquote about Neverland, but really it was like just about all sorts of stuff, and we were being jokey about games and stuff like that. It was really fun, and I still feel really hyped about it, even though it's been out for like a month now.
You should feel hyped about it. It was really cool.
I really like it. I am I was nervous about it because it's a big platform and gets in front of a lot of people, but they're relatively nice folks. But still it blows my mind, like the kind of comments people will leave on videos that get lots of views. Like I'll post a video and it gets mostly good interaction, but that's because like a maximum of 100 people have seen it.
Yeah.
And then like you'll get on this video and there's, a couple comments telling me I'm ruining gaming, which is fine.
Which is true.
Yeah, it's very true. There's another one telling me I have a mustache, which is also true. And then there's like just one that was also mean to Brennan. It was like, Brennan, you look like shit, dude. And I was like, what is with these fucking people? Like,
oh my
what's
God.
wrong with them? Don't you like this content? Why are you here? So
I hate that. Are you all right?
I'm okay. I'm just, you know what? I've been, I guess, dealing with like a bubbling kind of anxiety where I'm very excited that like my platform is growing, but as it does, I'm getting like a little bit of like every once in a while I get this like flash of like, nobody look at me.
Yeah.
Don't look at me. You're going to say something mean. But then it passes. So it's fine. I think it's so bizarre. Like I always watch, like, I think one person who definitely is like, you could have a case study about internet interactions is like Ginny D's comment section.
Yeah.
As like someone who's phenomenally popular.
Yeah.
Like beloved. Like certainly. And like, but then her comment section is still so full of people like just completely out of pocket. And it's just, I think it should be studied. I think it should be like a new, subset of sociology to study like this phenomenon of like how people behave in spaces where there's like free entertainment that you have no obligation to be watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's both a wonderful and blessed experience, but also a little bit of a insightful thing. Like I told someone recently that the next big thing that's happening that I can't talk about yet is going to happen. And his first message to me was like, oh, tag me when it does and I'll help make sure that the trolls don't overwhelm you, because like he just had seen that happen before, like when you get a boost from somebody that like that big, that it's like a part of it. And I was just like, oh wow, that is what's gonna happen. Okay.
That makes me so sad.
I know.
Because I'm so proud of you, and I hate that you have to have anxiety about that. And, like, I have social anxiety so bad sometimes that, like, I won't cross the street in front of a car because I don't want them to look at me. And I'll stand there and pretend to do something until, like, and then the next car comes, and I'm like, oh, that car knows that I just did that. So sometimes I have to wait, like, 10 cars. And so I feel...
And I won't get you started on the fact that you can't be caught dead walking without a stroller.
I can't.
How could you walk without purpose?
Yeah, no, if I'm walking without purpose, I'm afraid that someone will think that I'm bad at my life. Anyway, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I mean, it does feel like complaining about, your
No, it doesn't.
Oh, well, I feel like I'm complaining about my, diamond slippers or whatever in this situation, but it's still, it can be overwhelming, but I still feel overall very excited. And it was a very nice confirmation to learn that Brennan Lee Mulligan is very neat.
Yeah.
As a human. Very neat.
Well, I think that's great. And here's to more exciting interviews in the future.
So yeah. What has nerd culture done for you lately, Avalon?
I have started playing Elder Scrolls all the time.
I noticed.
And it's probably...
Did you go live twice today?
Yeah.
Or did I... Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been like every day.
All right. So what happened? Did they come out with like a new patch or something?
So I need somebody to explain MMOs to me because I have no experience with them. And I feel like people take for granted that there are certain aspects of how they're structured that to me are not intuitive in terms of a video game. Sure. Like, I don't know if I should think about them in terms of DLCs and like little side adventures or, I don't understand these, like, when a new story is written for an ongoing MMO, how you do it as a new player versus an old player, blah, blah, blah.
So I think it gets integrated. So it's like, I mean, this is based solely off my experience watching Mythic Quest.
Okay.
So I don't actually know anything. But what I've gleaned from that is that the server is just like live all the time. Mm-hmm. And they integrate the new like game into the existing code of the game. And then when it's ready, like mesh the two, and then it goes live within the existing game so that it's completely integrated. Yeah. So it's not like necessarily a DLC which is normally like an offshoot, like a branch that goes somewhere else.
Yeah. I think where I get confused is like where you start out. So if I bought the game, never touched it before, and I started, is there like a main game it starts me in, or is it just starting me on whatever the current expansion is? Or like, what if I want to go back and play one of the other expansions? How do I get to that point? Anyway. But so a new one came out that's being advertised pretty heavily. It's being advertised on Critical Role pretty heavily. I think the ad for it looks cool. And It is centered on like the Hellrealm, Daedra, and Oblivion, which I really liked the Oblivion game.
Yeah.
So it just like gave me nostalgia for it. So I thought I would give it another shot. I have created characters for Elder Scrolls Online before, but I haven't played more than like 1 or 2 sessions before I dropped it.
Yes, I'm very aware of that. I also have had that problem with that game, but I think it's particularly funny in that case.
I don't know what happened. So this is my 3rd time picking it up. The first time I really liked it, but then I got super lost in the world and I just didn't come back to it. And the second time, like right before I went into labor, Francis got a bunch of us to download it on Stadia, and
yes,
I didn't know what was going on. It was glitching horrendously. It was decidedly not fun, and I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on.
I think it's Stadia's fault, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, so this time I'm doing it on Stadia.
Oh, you are?
I'm
okay.
Doing it by myself, and able to actually sort of like read the dialogue and any sense of why I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't think it's a good game to blast through like Destiny or Borderlands, where you're just kind of like smiling and nodding at the plot, but really you're just there to beat things up with your friends. To me, Elder Scrolls there's just too much effort that's being put into
they're actually being lore.
What the fuck's going on? And if you lose it for a couple of chapters of the quest or whatever, then it just is very confusing. So,
and then it's just going to seem like a bunch of fetch quests all looped together. Yeah.
And I figured out how to have like a home base for storage finally, and which is a big deal. And I figured out how to fast travel finally, which is a big deal.
That is huge. I could not figure that out. Yeah.
No. So now that I have those 2 things down, it's getting pretty fluid. I haven't figured out crafting or items and armor very much yet. I'm still just using what I'm picking up, but yeah, I like the story of Blackwood is the current expansion.
What is the story so far? Can you give me like, I know that we have a real topic today, but if you could give me like what the intro to the story is, I'd love it.
It's just, it's not that good of a story. There's a cult that's trying to open Hellgates, blah, blah, blah. You're piecing that together and trying to stop them while also getting to go in and out of Oblivion, the Hellrealm. So, yeah.
So, like what a video game experience is to me, especially like a single player, like story-based video game experiences to me, is like, did you ever have like a night where you like had a text conversation with an old friend or a new lover that was like felt really intense and like really like deep, and then you like wake up the next morning and you look back at the text and it's like, you're pretty cool, like you too, or like it's like really, it's like much blander than you remember because you were just like in a moment of feeling
you're
emotions.
all caught up in it.
Yeah. And that's I think a little bit like,
I'll take it.
My experience playing.
I feel like I'm also having a lot of fun with the side quests too. Like some of them have been very silly.
Yeah.
In a way that I enjoy. And some have been just flat out weird, but yeah, I'm really digging it. I found Liam O'Brien in it.
Oh, you did?
I had to do a Liam O'Brien side quest. So
that's cute.
Yeah, I'm just really into it, and I'm sad that I'm not playing it like all the time, which is not good.
No, but I love that. I love that for you. I love that experience, and like I'm actively seeking that right now. Like I love that feeling. Nerd culture has been vastly varied. I know you have a topic that I don't know about.
Yeah, I guess that's what we do now. We just don't tell each other anymore.
Yeah, I like it though. It's kind of fun and surprising. But before you say a word,
oh my god,
let's get a goddamn man in here.
Stat.
In a mansplaining minute. Ooh. Putting 1 minute on the man watch and go. Final Fantasy 7. Wait, 10? 10 is your favorite? 10 shouldn't be anyone's favorite. For legitimate gamers, there are only 2 Final Fantasies, 7 and 6 if you're old. Final Fantasy X is just Nick Carter playing a bunch of underwater soccer while Girl Jesus tries to feed you a bunch of subliminal messages about Christianity. It's like your mom trying to make you watch VeggieTales. No, thank you. Besides, the villain in 7 is iconic. Sephiroth, dark, brooding, cloak, pecs out, trying to destroy the world in order to purify it. Name begins with an S. That's also the villain from Final Fantasy X. That's actually the villain from every Final Fantasy game. Nevertheless, any game whose sequel is basically just the video game version of the movie Crossroads is not for core gamers. And that has been your Mansplain Minute.
Avalon, what the hell? What are you talking about?
I am talking about the video game Final Fantasy X.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, have we done a Final Fantasy game before?
No. And if we have, it's this one, and so I'm hoping we haven't. But I don't think we have.
I don't think we have, genuinely. And it's such a big deal.
It is. It is hard. It's one of those topics where it's like talking about the franchise is too big, but talking about one game feels oddly specific. But that's fine. I'm going to go for it. Okay,
hold on. I wanna find out something really quick. Which game did I watch you play in the Final
Fantasy
7. Okay, so I have 0.
Yeah.
I have no understanding of this then. So go.
So Final Fantasy X, I think you'll recognize one thing is that it has that big boob lady in it.
When you say big boob lady, all I think of is big boob vampire lady.
Not her, but similar energy. She's memed a lot. She's got like this fur lined coat that's falling off of her boobs.
I'm going to be honest with you, Evelyn. I've never seen this person in my whole life.
Oh, I'm so sad. Well, anyway. You should have. Well, then you don't know anything about this.
I don't know anything about this.
So I don't, forgive me if I'm telling you things that you know. Final Fantasy as a franchise is not like internally consistent. The games are not related. They don't really take place in the same world, to my knowledge. Yeah.
What?
They're all freestanding.
It's not a consecutive series?
No, which is wild.
It is wild, although it does make it seem more digestible that there are so many.
Yeah. There's like recurring themes or elements. They're all magic-y and a little bit steampunky, and there's usually sort of a God versus technology commentary happening. But they're all freestanding. Yeah.
Okay.
So Final Fantasy X was for the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Which was a really exciting console for me because that's when all of the anime games and all the JRPGs looked really cool. All of a sudden, like the technology jump from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2 was a big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
And Final Fantasy X was kind of used a lot to advertise like how dope games look now. And the characters had facial expressions sometimes, which was new and weird. Like they would smile. They were able to be animated to smile and stuff, and that was wild.
Right, because I saw what the original, I think it was the original 7 looked like.
Yeah.
And it just looks like
it's like block people.
It's
like borderline.
Valley, but...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But and then this one had like beautiful cutscenes was the other thing.
That's nice.
It came out sort of at the height of me being an anime kid, so it was pretty exciting for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to throw out something. So like I remember the first time that I saw a video game with like a beautiful cutscenes was in college, and we were watching my friend Matt, I think, was playing the Solid Snake games, you know, those whatever that was. And it felt like, because I had never played a game like that before, it felt like there was a cutscene every 4 seconds.
Yeah.
And that it was just like a movie. where occasionally you had to walk under a box. I do have to address something really quick. I have an apology to make. I have my very first Femsplained apology to make.
No, we don't do that. Are you apologizing to me?
No.
Then no.
All right, that's it. Can't
That's
happen.
it. Can't happen.
No. See, those are the rules. All right, so please continue.
It was also really cool because the battles kind of still worked in the same way where you take turns. Turn-based, I think it's called. But it was 3D for, I don't know, like the way that you run around was 3D for the first time. And
right, it wasn't
in a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
And it was pretty and it was cool. The voice acting, I know this because I have recently replayed it, is like really cringy to me.
Sure.
It's just so angsty.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. In kind of like a Kingdom Heartsy way, though. Which makes sense because that's Kingdom Hearts pulls Final Fantasy energy.
Oh, right. It's like
yeah. So here's the story.
Okay, please.
This is gonna be like spoiler light.
Sorry.
Okay. So I'm not gonna spoil like the end, but I will spoil everything else. Just saying that for the listeners more so than for you.
Yeah, because I don't care. You know that
well,
I don't care.
know, but some episodes, like, it can be hard to tell. I feel like we're a little touch and go sometimes for what's old enough that we can spoil versus.
I know, but when did this game come out?
2001, 2002-ish.
I think there has to be a statute of limitations.
Oh, for sure.
On spoilers, yeah.
I just want to put it out there. So JRPG, as I said, the main character is Titus, and Titus is an athlete superstar.
Great.
There's a sport within the game called Blitzball, which is a pain in the ass.
Oh, you actually have to play Blitzball?
You do, and yes, it's the
hate
worst.
That. I hate that.
And
I hate that. I hate when games make you play the game within the game.
I hate it so much.
I don't like it. The Witcher. Fuck you. All right, go on. Sorry.
No. So Titus is a Blitzball superstar. You find out the only Blitzball player that's ever been better than him is his dad, and you also find out his dad is a dickbag. But disappeared when Titus was a child.
Like a dickbag would.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Titus is coming home from being a superstar, and oh my god, a giant monster attacks this fictional futuristic city and destroys it. Mysterious man shows up with a sword and is like, we gotta get you out of here. So that you're fighting the mysterious monster, blah, 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 but then you die. Or do you? You wake up in a puddle of water, seemingly in the distant, distant future.
What?
Yes. The end. No. And you're like, what the fuck's going on? And the first person you meet is an uwu girl who is really steampunky and lives with like a secret sect of people who use machinery.
Okay.
And you find out the entire world has religion has outlawed any kind of mechanics. And they blame that giant attack on the city on man's hubris with machine.
Man's hubris has been responsible for so many of my favorite stories.
Yes, exactly.
Good job, man.
So this monster, I guess, shows up because he's pissed about man's hubris and machines. So you've got the machine people that are ostracized.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he falls in with them. Monsters. Eventually, you run into the other playable main characters who join your group, which is a very demure white mage cleric character and her bodyguards.
You mean white mage, like healing magic
Yes.
and like white magic, quote unquote?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Correct. She's also a summoner. But yeah, and so she's escorted by 3 bodyguards, which is a giant angry blue tiger man, another blitzball player who does ranged attacks, and that lady with the fur coat that I can't believe you didn't recognize. And she does like elemental magic.
Okay.
They are escorting this girl on a mission to visit all the temples across the world to become like the chosen one to battle the big monster.
All right, so what is about the temples that makes her more equipped? Is it like some sort of gemstone, crystal situation?
So at each temple, there's a trial, and once you undergo, and if you succeed at the trial, you get a new giant monster you can summon in battle.
To help you.
Yeah, so she is healing, but she's also a summoner.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. So you have to, whatever, you join up, obviously. And she's your love interest, obviously.
Obviously.
Obviously. And yeah, you escort her around. And you find out that your dad is famous in this place too. And he used to be like a guardian of a summoner after he mysteriously appeared here several years ago.
So your dad's here.
I think he's dead. But
Right. Okay.
but like once again, you show up somewhere and everybody thinks your dad is sick.
Yeah. Better than you.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're always in his fucking shadow. There's also like another guy who's kind of like your mentor. He looks cool, but it's not worth explaining.
Okay. Good.
The girl you love is named Yuna. And Yuna is like supposed to marry the guy that's clearly the big bad. Or like there's some kind of weird sexual tension there. At some point he tries to force her to marry him, but then he also turns into a monster at some point. But he looks like every Final Fantasy big bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is there more to go?
No.
Okay. So, are there multiple love interests in this? Or
No.
is it just you're automatically in a love interest with this?
Yeah, it's just you and Yuna.
Okay. All right. Here's my only knowledge of anything Final Fantasy.
Yes.
At any point, do you get to cross-dress?
I know what you're talking about. No. I think that was unique to 7, yeah.
They peaked at that moment then as a game. Okay. So, all right, my question before anything else
Yes.
is what significance does this game have for you? Like what do you love about it?
I love the play structure. I love the battle structure. I love the leveling system. So when you go to level up characters and it takes you into that screen, it's like almost like constellations, but each character has like all of these orbs around them that you can sort of take them on a fairly linear path to get all of their level ups, but then all of the orbs kind of connect. So if you go really far out of your way, you can start having like dual classing with them and start picking up each other's skills. But I don't know. I've always really loved the leveling system in this game.
Yeah, I like that. Like you can kind of take a long way around.
Yeah.
To get something else included.
And I feel like every game that I've played in terms of leveling is I have to go back and forth and read 2 options like a million times. And the way the information is presented is harder for me to digest. And the way that this is laid out visually with the sort of maze of orbs has always just really clicked for my brain. So I like that
like
a
that.
lot.
Yeah.
I like the fighting actual strategies and things like that. You're able to choose, I want to say 4 active players at a time in the battle. Maybe it's 3.
Do you is it like a system where you control your comrades too? Like you
Yeah.
can
You
choose what they're doing as well?
Mhm.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're doing the whole team. And you can take a turn to trade somebody in and out. I think there's like 7
that's
people
pretty good.
total at some point, but I think you can only have 3 on the field at once. But I just really enjoy that system of battling.
I like that.
And I like, as I've said before, I like a game where in the middle of a fight you can get up and make a sandwich.
You can do that in this game?
Yeah.
Can you? How does that? How does that work?
Because it's just
walk me through what that looks like.
The sandwich.
Yeah, I really do want to know about the sandwich, but I want to know how the game screen looks when you get up to make a sandwich.
Well, okay, so you're walking, and then the screen goes. Oh no, we ran into a monster or 3 monsters.
Got it.
And everybody runs out and they're like, let's do this. And you're like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it gives you an order of initiative where you can see like who's gonna go, who's up, and then like which monsters are gonna come when. And then if you swap someone in that has a like higher initiative, basically, like it'll change the graph to include them differently. But yeah, so if it's one of your players' turns, you get the option screen and it's like, do you want to attack them? Do you want to use an item? Do you want to use magic? Do you want to run? And like, as long as that menu's on the TV, like nothing's gonna happen. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I do.
I love that. Yeah, that's pretty good.
And I always jokingly say that I can make a sandwich, but really I think it's more about my anxiety.
Yeah, you don't have to like decide under pressure. Yeah.
And there's no like hand-eye coordination needed in the game.
Yeah.
With the exception of when suddenly you have to play blitzball.
See,
with no practice.
In-game games are the worst. Fuck
it's
you.
The worst.
The Witcher.
Yeah.
And blitzball.
Yeah, fuck you, blitzball. When we did Melee Ball, and it was being described, it reminded me of Blitzball, and I said so. And then everyone was like, well, that's the worst part of that game. And I was like, shit, I thought only I felt that way. Although Melee Ball was genuinely very fun.
Melee Ball is much
not.
more fun than that, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so I enjoy that system. And I really like that you get to play such distinct, different fighting classes.
Yeah.
Like, I like getting to strategize that all in my head at the same time. Like, who I know is going to do range, who I know is going to be the healer, you know, who I know is, like, super fast, so I can get in a couple of extra hits if it's going to be bad. I enjoy that. And I think to me, that's one of the highlights of JRPGs in general.
Yeah. I mean, that's, like, the best part of Dragon Age Origins is that the option to control all your players in the battlefield and like give them all commands and orders. It's not the same where there's no pause.
Yeah. When you're responsible for moving them, right?
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, but not like fuck that sucks. Just like that makes it harder.
It does. It absolutely does. But like I think then in Inquisition they made it like a little less difficult. You could still control them all, but they would automatically move to their spots. But still, I like that.
And I also, it's kind of like Pokemon, where for me at least, where I really want everybody to level evenly in my party, even if I don't use them as much. So even just the strategy of knowing when to swap people in and out so that they get a little bit of the XP at the end.
XP, yeah. That's tough. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Ever. I'm very attached.
Yeah. No one left behind.
When we were playing the Pokemon game together, I picked a party like really early on, and I just never switched them out.
I think that's a valid play style. I was less inspired to switch them out in Sword and Shield because I didn't really like the Pokemon in that game.
Really?
Not compared to like the deep emotional connection I have to Gen 1.
Well, sure.
And to a lesser extent, Gens probably 2 and 3. But yeah. I
No,
was
that
so
makes sense.
unfamiliar with what options I had for Pokemon that it was like overwhelming and I just stuck with what I had.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So I have a question. Who's the sexiest person in the game?
That person I sent you. Lulu is her name.
Yeah. And do we like her? Do we hate her?
We like her. For some reason, I feel like she's like a gay icon, and I don't know why. But every is strong.
Because she's tall.
She's tall. She's very no nonsense, and she's just like very sultry.
Yeah.
But I've known so many gay nerds that are all about her.
Yeah.
Like the kid that I rode the bus with, who very obviously was going to come out, was not attracted to any women, but had like an exceptional fixation on her. Like, I just feel like for some reason, it's almost like she's a drag queen. Like, I just feel like she is an idol for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, that's completely valid.
Yeah.
Who did you have any? Do you have any favorite characters?
When I was like young, when the game first came out, I definitely think that I was sort of projecting romance on the two main characters. I thought she was very pretty and like whatever.
Yeah.
That is such bullshit. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. Lulu is great. Waka is great. He's the other Blitzball player that's one of the Guardians of the Summoner.
Right.
His older brother was killed by the big bad monster, which is called Sin, and was in a relationship with Lulu. So there's like a little bit of weird romantic tension with them as they like equally grieve him, but also have gotten to know each other very well.
Mm-hmm.
And the steampunk girl's kind of cool.
I mean, she sounds cool.
She has like tinkerer powers and stuff like that. Not powers, but like that's her.
Like she's like an artificer.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. She's kind of annoying though.
Yeah. I mean,
you know.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. I don't think there's one character that you're just like, God damn, that's a cool fucking character.
Yeah. I mean, what would that even look like?
All right. No.
Okay. So here's what I want is, do you have any spicy takes? Any opinions? Anything that would make the nerds mad?
That would make the nerds mad? I think the fact that I haven't talked at all about a character named Auron will probably make... I don't feel like there's anything interesting to say. And I think to understand his character requires like a level of talking about the plot that I just don't have the energy for. But he's like cool or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, in terms of your fighting party, he's kind of the same as the main character. Like they're both just like gonna hit you with a sword pretty hard. So you don't really need both of them. So
why bother? Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess he's cool or whatever. Oh, I don't think so. I think it's a generally beloved game. They made like sequels to it within the Final Fantasy.
What?
Kind of. But
what does that mean?
I don't know. I've never played them and I don't understand. All I know is that they seem centered on the girls. The 3 girls, and they made their outfits smaller in it.
Sure, of course. So that's to be expected. But wait, I need you to explain to me. I need to find out how in a series that is not consecutive, not a following story, how they also made sequels to one game.
So
Was it like a 10.1 situation?
it's 10-2.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just make a series.
I know.
Yeah, this is okay. Anyway,
All right, so I don't know anything about it, so I'm going to read the beginning of the wiki for it.
please do.
The story follows Yuna,
Yeah.
who's the summoner, as she searches for Titus, the main character, while trying to prevent political conflicts from escalating to war. So I don't know. Could be about anything. Takes place 2 years after, and she's just looking for the main character. So it's
wait.
her, the steampunk girl, and a new girl who looks
What does
pretty
a new girl look like?
gay. Gay in a good way.
Okay. Well, all right. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in for this girl for sure. She's
Yeah.
got choker. She's got like kind of a messy mohawk undercut mullet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all I know about her.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am fascinated by the structure of the series. Like that is
Yeah.
really sticking out to me so much.
Mm-hmm.
Because all right, are you aware of the main character of the 7th game?
Yeah. I'm aware of most of the American release series up till 10. So like 7, 8, 9, 10 I'm familiar with.
It's very hard to me for me to believe that there were games before 7, because how could anything look worse than what that did?
They used to just be like literally sprites. Like
Yeah.
just like
Like Pong. Okay.
Yeah, well, not like Pong, but yeah.
So
It was
okay.
just Pong. Final Fantasy 1 is Pong.
was actually just Pong.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that. But I feel like people say the name of that character from Final Fantasy 7 a lot.
Yeah.
And I just assumed it was because he was a lead in the other games.
No, just that game. People
Just that game?
give enough of a fuck about just that game.
Okay. Can I tell a story?
Yeah.
When Marty got the new Final Fantasy 7 like release that was like upgraded and redone with modern graphics. It was like really exciting. It was also like height of COVID.
Yeah, the hype was big for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember I was I was working a lot at the time that he was playing it, but I would come out for like different snippets and stuff. And I think that a lot of people probably also had this experience. Maybe not, but I am assuming they did. But Marty did not know that it was not the whole game.
Yeah.
And so there was this moment where like tragedy occurred in the living room. Like it just sounded like the sounds of heartbreak and confusion.
Yeah.
After like and I honestly, I'm still mad about it. I think that like,
I think a lot of people are still mad about it.
Small update.
yeah.
So I just read an article, because they've been working on this game for so long, now that there's a PlayStation 5, they're having trouble like having it so that you can upload your file from the first half of the game that they released.
That they worked all this time on.
Yeah, I got like all the secret stuff.
I know.
Because I was so mad that I couldn't finish the game.
If they
That
don't
is
find
hilarious.
a way. I just thought it was like so
Yeah.
stunning, like to come out with half a game.
I know. And it like the game was talked about and hyped for so long and delayed so many times.
Yeah.
And then I think people were just completely dumbfounded
Yeah.
that
Like,
it was half the game.
like we got mad at Dragon Age for like hiding the like last 10% of the game behind a DLC.
Mm-hmm.
with Inquisition, rightfully so.
Yeah.
But like half of the game,
Yeah.
that was pretty bold. I remember like how heartbreaking it seemed and felt
Honestly,
from the other room.
Francis and I are both pretty big fans of Final Fantasy VII, and because of that, have not purchased it and will not play it until the whole thing comes out. I don't want to fuck with that.
Yeah, I don't.
And
blame
now
you.
I'm glad, apparently, because it's not going to be backwards compatible or whatever.
Oh my God.
I don't know, but yeah, not.
Would you recommend? All right, knowing me, would you recommend that I play 10?
I don't think you'd hate it. I think that there are things about it that you would wish you could change. There's no dialogue options. It just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
And I think that, and there's no character design, but it's not hard.
Love that.
It is dramatic at times. I don't know
Love
if you love that. And it, most importantly to me, it makes you feel like you get to play like one of every class strategically.
That's pretty cool.
Which I like.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a big miss. Like I think
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
I'm not personally invested in you playing it like I am with some homeworks that I assign you.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think it would be funny to watch you stream it potentially because some of it is so melodramatic. Yeah.
Okay.
Like there's like one scene in particular, one like romantic scene in particular that's just like the main girl is just like, why am I always smiling? Because I'm crying if I don't smile. And then it's just like, okay, we have to kiss. Or it's like something so stupid like that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely misrepresenting that scene. But my recollection of the level of melodrama.
Wait to find out what it actually is. I cannot wait, because right now what I'm picturing is like me like at a sweet 16 like crying about like life is unfair or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that seems to hold that same kind of drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's Final Fantasy X. There's also Chocobos and Moogles.
I do like chocobos.
Yeah, Chocobos and Moogles
fan.
are like one of the only consistents across the Final Fantasy games.
Very happy that one chocobo didn't die in the 7 game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very invested in that as a viewer. Okay, so what is your best fuck, marry, kill for this game?
All right, I'll fuck, marry, kill the ladies. Fuck Lulu, who is the booby one.
Booby lady, yeah.
Booby lady. Marry. They're both useful and annoying.
Don't say steampunk girl.
Marry this. Yeah, I guess I'll marry the main girl.
Yeah.
But it really could go either way. Like, I really find them both annoying. But useful.
Oh, well.
And then I guess I'll kill the steampunk girl. I don't know. No, I'm going to marry the steampunk girl. Because I would like to be a part of her cultural
aesthetic.
Group. And aesthetic, yeah. And, like, they have airships and stuff. And everyone else is just so afraid of technology that they're just...
That's what you need.
Acting like fools.
That's what you deserve.
Yeah. I deserve an airship, I agree.
Yeah.
Then we'll kill Yuna.
Yeah. Una is the main girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Main girl's gotta go.
Yeah.
What about the boys?
Boys. There's more than 3 boys. Okay, let's see. There's Waka, Titus, Orin, the bad guy, and the cat guy.
Sure.
I'm gonna marry the cat guy.
That is shocking.
He's not like a sexy cat, and he's...
No.
He doesn't have a sexy personality, even. But upon my recent replay, I think that there's some depth to that character that is interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now I really want you to play it just for that reason. Gonna kill the main character because I hate him so much.
Yeah, sounds right.
I guess I'll fuck Waka, but I wouldn't mind marrying him. Yeah, I'll just fuck Waka.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna marry the cat guy,
the cat guy's very quiet.
That seems like an interesting choice for you and your lifestyle. Anyway, Avalon, what are you doing after this?
I'm gonna play Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I feel bad. I should go to bed.
No,
I'll just play like a little bit.
Play a little bit.
Just a
you
little
deserve it.
Just a little treat.
Play a little bit.
What are you gonna do?
Go to bed. Well, it's 12:15 here. I'm gonna turn that air conditioner back on. Because it's wild in here. Yeah, that's it.
I love that Super Dylan logo.
Me too.
It's really cool.
Marty had the idea to put it by the moon, which is
it's
good.
smart. He did a good job.
I know, I like it.
All right. Well, this was fun.
Right. It was fun.
Oh, we should have talked about our game. Another time.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Actually.
Nerd Culture did that for me too.
Yeah, good reminder though.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Bye. You can find all of our Femsplained content either on patreon.com/Femsplained, Twitter, you can find us at FemsplainedCast, Instagram, you can find us at Femsplained Podcast, and you can check out superdylan.com/Femsplained to find the guest form and all of the different places where you can listen and connect with us.
Awesome. You can find and follow me, Avalon, at @A_CatAttack on both Twitter and Twitch.
And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, and all the places at Super Dylan, and that is DILLIN.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your support. Bye.
Bye.